for Forward Live. This is the live stream, the podcast that we talk about real solutions to real problems, real shit that real people deal with, and real solutions. Because honestly, it's not worth having a discussion about things if you don't bring some solution to the table. And that's been a very big part of what I do here. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram or on TikTok, please like and subscribe. And if there's something that you hear on this show that helps you, please share it with someone else. Now, that being said, how many of us frequently go through life with baggage? We pick up and collect baggage over the course of our lives. Now, let me just say this because I want you to understand that at the end of the day, everyone has baggage. Given a sufficiently long timeline, everybody comes out of their bag, and everybody's baggage is ultimately revealed. Now, some people have light under seat bags, some people have bags that fit in the overhead, and some people have bags that have to be checked as baggage. And some people, they have so much baggage they have to ship their shit from one destination or from one location to another. So everybody has baggage. But that being said, how much negativity are you holding on to right now? And what you need to do is to identify what is good in your life and what is not good in your life. And those things that are good in your life, when you learn to identify those, to quantify those, then those are the things that you want to hold on to. And that's the topic of today's discussion, is holding on to what's good. And when you find people, places, things that are good, you have to hold on to those because these are the things that are going to edify you. These are the things that are going to exhort you. These are the things that they're going to encourage you to do more, to aim higher, to go farther, go faster, right? But when you hold on to what's bad, it becomes an anchor. It becomes dead weight. It becomes ballast. And what you don't want to do is ride around with ballast or excess weight. The founder of Lotus Cars, Colin Chapman, his formula for building race cars was just add lightness. And that sounds very counterintuitive at first because how do you add lightness? But what he was saying, it was a clever way of saying eliminate excess weight. Whatever it is in your life that you don't need. There are people who are just hanging on to either hope you succeed and that they can catch a piece of your success, or there are people that are hanging on in your life hoping that you fail so they can watch you crash and burn. And in either case, you don't want to give either one of them the satisfaction because the only people that you want to enjoy the success of your life are the people that participated in the success of your life. In other words, if they were the wind beneath your wings, if they were the wind behind you that's pushing you, if they were something that was helping you move on, then those are the people you want to hold on to. But let me get back to Colin Chapman for a second, because what Colin Chapman would do, what Lotus used to do in the 1960s in Grand Prix racing, is that they would build a car that was only good for one race. Other manufacturers would build for durability, and durability produces weight because the parts have to be stronger, more fortified, heavier. So Colin Chapman was only considered with a car that could run one race, because if it could run that one race, it could win. And that's the thing that I want you to do, is look at your life as a series of races. In Formula One, there's an entire season of racing. So there are several races throughout the season, and you may win all of them, or you may win none of them. But the objective is to win as many of them as you can, because the more races you win, the more likely you are to attain a championship. So the idea is, look at your life as a series of races that you're running. And in each one of those races, you need to make sure that you're built to win, that you're built to endure what that particular race throws at you. And that means holding on to that which is good. So again, places. Let me talk about places for a second, because I grew up in Detroit, and I'll tell you something that I from the time I was a child, I wanted to leave Detroit. I wanted to get out of Detroit. Detroit was not my place, and eventually I did get out. And when I get out, I began to flourish. I began to thrive. I began to grow in multidimensionally. But watch this. At a certain point, I thought, hey, maybe I'll go back to Detroit. Maybe I'll now that I have this success, I'll go back and I'll share it or display it for others. And that was a mistake, because what I realized is that the place that was no good to me, I let it go. I moved on, and then I moved back to that. In other words, don't backtrack on what you're doing. Once you let something go, let it go. And I was just having this discussion with my fiance earlier today. We were saying, if you love someone, let them go, and if they love you, they'll return. Well, yeah, that's the conventional wisdom to that statement. But one of my friends once said, if you love someone, let them go, and if they return to you, kill them. and I think it's funny, but there's some hidden wisdom there. In other words, I'm not advocating killing anybody. Let me just say that very emphatically. But what I am saying is that sometimes when you let something go, if it comes back, you've got to not pick that thing up again. Because one of the things that happens is that when you're holding on to something good, it's impossible for you to pick up something bad unless you let something good go. So the idea is that when you pick up something good, you hold on to it. Now, here's an important caveat for this, and it's this: that hold on to everything loosely. Don't hold on to something to the point where it's removed from you will hurt or harm you, right? And a lot of times we doggedly hang on to things that are not good, or sometimes we even hang on to things that are good. When something better comes along, we're not able to sit down the good for the better. And so that's another part to this discussion, is when you do let go of something good, only let go of something good for something better. It's just like when you're climbing across ladder bars. When you're swinging from one to the other, you have to reach out and grab the next one, and then let go of the last one to swing to get to the next one. And it's this this grab and go movement, and you have to do that in order to traverse the obstacle. So that's why holding on to things loosely. For to give you another example, one of the most difficult things that I ever had to do in my life was to bury a spouse. And when you are holding on, let me tell you what my thought process was. Is that when I thought that when she died, I'd die, I was holding on too tightly. But when I realized that, okay, this is a phase, this is not something that I like, but this is something that I'm passing through. Now I realize, okay, this thing that I'm holding on to, I had good memories, I had a good life, had a good relationship, but I had to let that go for something better, to move on, because that is how we attain forward progress. You have to keep moving, and you can't keep moving if you're holding on to the bad, or you're holding on to what you have perceived to be good in the face of something better. You have to keep moving. So the lesson here: learn to let go. Learn how to strategically let go. There are things, for example, you may hold on to a car because it's running, and it does what it needs to do. But It's not doing it efficiently. It's not doing it safely. It's just getting by. But let's just say that you have something it's paid for and that it has good resale value. Now that means that you can let go of this thing that has served you well for something better. And that's the whole thing. That's the point of this particular episode, is that when the good, you can be holding on to something good, but don't be afraid to let go in the face of something better. The other thing too is that if you're afraid to let go of what's good in the face of something better, you might miss out on something that totally could change your life. And I can say this, that 20 plus years ago, I let go of something. I let go of something good, and I didn't let it. I didn't let that go for something better. But when the opportunity came to pick that up again, I did it. And now I'm determined that I won't let that go, because I know that there's nothing else better than what I picked up. And again, learning to identify what is good, what is bad. Okay, here's the definition. That which is good is that which pleases you, that which encourages you, that which equips you, that which educates you. These are all things that are good. And when I say pleasure, I'm not talking about like just wanton pleasure, where like drugs or alcohol or something like that, where it's pleasure for pleasure's sake. No, I'm talking about things that benefit your life and give you some pleasure. Things that are not good, things that are addictive, things that are that discourage you, things that cause you to to think twice about your own self-worth, your own self-value, things that denigrate you, that insult you. Those are things that you don't want to keep in your life. And when you learn to identify what these things are, what's good, what's not good, then you're able to pick up what's good, hold on to that, keep it moving until you find something better, if there is something better. Because again, sometimes the good thing that you pick up may be the best thing. And you have to learn to identify that too, because one of the things with relationships especially is that when you pick up a good thing and you think, okay, well, maybe the grass is greener on the other side, okay, then what you're doing is you're sabotaging your own happiness, you're sabotaging your own good for the promise of something better that doesn't exist. Okay, and you have to be careful of that. So these are some of the things that that I want to share with you today. What I want you to take away from this is that good comes your way, and you have to learn to identify it. You have to learn how to attain it, retain it, maintain it, and those things that are not good in your life, you have to learn to identify those and learn to unload, to jettison, to discard those things. And if you can do that, if you can distinguish between what's good and what's bad, and how to hold on to what's good, and then how to identify that when you have something good, that if something better comes along, that you are not holding on so tightly to the good that it damages you when you release it, so that you can receive the better. That's what I have for you today, and I want to thank you all for attending my TED Talk. I hope that you have a fantastic week. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. May you be happy, may you be well, may you be filled with peace.